All right, guys, we're going to be talking about the pound yen, guys. Pound yen. Um, Once again, guys, same thing, doesn't change. Purple zones are my monthly support and resistance. Red zones are my weekly support and resistance. They're being respected on the monthly. Let's go to the weekly. Pretty much the same thing on the weekly. They're being respected. Let's go ahead and drop it down to the daily. Um, the daily um, the game plan for the pound yen. We're stuck where this is our zones of interest is that we got to break above this 135 35 or below your 132 area for us to actually say, hey, you know what, we're short. Just be aware that if we're short, once again, guys, these lines that I have here, they either represent support and resistance on the lower time frames, or somewhat supply and demands, or just pretty much unfilled orders, right? They're just areas that we got to watch out for. Let's go ahead and drop it down to the 4 hour. And what I like about this pound yen, guys, is that not only is it in daily demand, it's somewhat of a 4 hour demand that it's approaching. Okay, so this is not. I'm sorry. This is just based on my personal experience. From here on out, any pairs that I talk about being cross pairs, especially the pound yen, the Euro Aussie, Euro New Zealand, Euro CAD, pound Aussie, pound New Zealand, pound CAD. These are all pairs that should be taken with extreme caution. They have high volatility, and um, stop losses 20, 25 might sometimes not be enough for an overnight. And for that reason is why I do have alerts on this trade, on this pair. But once I get my alerts triggered, then I'll be looking for the hesitation for the breakout back up. And I'll explain to you guys what I mean by that. So for this one is that I need it for it to come down towards this big 133, and then I'll need it for it to hesitate. Just pretty much, just kind of just spend its time around here, and then once I get a breakout, a breakout above, so I got my next breakout is my 133.50, guys. That's I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Is it 133.50? I'll tell you right now. Sorry, guys. So 133.25. Let me go ahead and break this. My 133.25 is my next alert. Once I get another, so my first alert is for me to tell me, hey, you know what, we're in the zone. My next alert is that, hey, you know what, it's popping off your 133.25. At that point, then I'll see how deep it went, and based on that, I'll calculate my stop loss. Because, well, what if it did all the way that, all right? And then it started hesitating. Well, then my stop loss, if I'm going to be doing an overnight, it would have to be the entire zone, right? But what if I'm day trading this? Then I don't have to worry about putting a big stop loss. Then I could just say, you know what, the pound's actually strong for that given day. My yen is actually weak, or it could be either or. It could be my yen just really strong for the day, and I'm sorry, my pound really strong for the day, or my yen really weak for the day, and I'll gladly take them. Okay, so at that point, I just don't have, yeah, I do have these orders that I got to be aware of. And let me see if I actually have them down on my lower time frame, which is the 134.20, 25 area. Here, I'll 134.20, which is right there. Let me go ahead and jot these down. Um, should have done it with the one I already had. 134.20, that's another importance that I know. Your 134.70. Yeah. Right around there. So I'm pretty much just highlighting all the areas of importance. Even your big 135 is the one where, you know what, just say, hey, you know what, take whatever you have and just run with it and just get out. The reason why is because we're hitting into 4 hour supply by that time, and I definitely be out by that time. So as I'm day trading this, if I'm day trading this, and it accomplishes my first target for that given day, I'm out. I'm out because I know I know that if I'm expecting a pullback at that point, and I've already accomplished my first trade for that given day, then I'll pretty much be out. Um, so I'm just kind of giving you guys my targets. What I'm looking for, then I'll just wait for the pullback to somewhat of a demand, and then just keep on writing it up. Just know that from here on out, after the first target, it's gonna be somewhat of a tight range. And most likely, I don't know, I'll give you guys the update next week, but I don't think I'll engage it further on unless we get a 4-hour candle breaking above that 135.35, which at that point, I'll gladly consider the pullback for my next continuation back up, because guess what? I have nothing throughout. I pretty much scan a lot of these things. Let me see, 135.35. Yeah, there's really nothing significant up until we reach um, your 137.30 area, which is right around here. Yeah. So yeah, I mean that's going to be a nice game plan. So once we actually break this 4-hour, that's going to be the game plan for that. So I'll leave this marked just so we can come back to it next week and see how that plays. Now, what if? Well, now let's talk about the other scenario. What if this demand doesn't work, right? What if this demand doesn't work and it just takes it apart, right? Well, remember we said we need a 4-hour candle breaking below this 132, and this is a next level of interest, this white line right there. So then I'll wait for the pullback and then continue it back down. So I like doing these things because I know that if price does this, then I'll do this. If price does that, then I'll do that. I I, I go with whatever the charts and the candles are telling me. That's pretty much what I'm doing right here, guys. That's it for the pound yen, guys. I'll see you guys on the next trade. See you guys.